Include Now, brought to you by Even Break. Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Include Now, brought to you by Even Break. I'm here with our two fantastic hosts, Adam and Josh. Adam, who are you?
Thanks. I'm Adam Hyland, and I'm the Chief Ingredient Officer for Even Break and my host for Include Now.
Amazing, thanks Adam. Josh, who are you?
Because I'm Josh, I'm the Candidates and Partnerships Coordinator at Even Break, and I'm the host of the After Pod, also known as Community Corner as well.
Amazing, thank you so much. And I'm Meg, I'm the podcast producer, and what we're really hoping to do with Include Now is to bring you a new take on podcasts, podcasting that is inclusive and accessible. So you'll find our podcast available via Spotify and wherever you usually get your podcasts, but also YouTube, complete with full captions, full transcription and audio description as well. One of the big segments that we are going to be doing in our upcoming podcast series is 3 questions in 3 minutes. So to get us started, I thought we would give that a go with Adam and Josh. So, here we go. Adam, coffee or tea?
Coffee. Definitely coffee.
Josh, coffee or tea?
Certainly coffee as well.
I don't like coffee very much, so tea for me, but I'm much more of a fan of hot chocolate. Josh, if you had to recommend a film or a book, what would you recommend?
Oh God, film. Like this is a sort of thing where as soon as someone like asks you, you completely forget like everything. But I think I'm going with the classic of the Goonies.
Oh, the Goonies. Adam?
I don't know how you top that really. I think it was. I think I'm gonna have to say my guilty pleasure for movie is Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Very good shout.
Top Gun 1 or Top Gun 2?
Oh, well, you can't be the original, but I think when you have grown up with Top Gun being on your go-to films, I think any sequel after that, regardless of how bad it is, you're still gonna love it because it's just part of your childhood memories.
Yes.
But I think the original one is probably always gonna be the best.
A classic.
Yeah.
And the last question I got for you is, who is your leadership inspiration? Adam, we'll start with you.
That's difficult because there's so many. I'm gonna go with you can probably see this going, but I talk a lot about his John Meacham.
Great choice.
Organisation psychologist, and all but a book called Promises of Giants, and I adore his work. I love it. And if you're listening, John, you need to come on this podcast and make my year.
Nothing like a cheeky request from Adam.
It's got to be done.
Gotta be done. Josh, what about you?
So mine's a complete road choice, but like as I love football, like in terms of someone that shows clear leadership, it's certainly Jose Mourinho, because he's won like everything he possibly could, but he's the type of leader that also hasn't got to get too loud to like to actually command the attention like of the people that are listening.
Yeah, I love that.
So
I love that leaders can be in any walk of life, both disability inclusion and inclusion related, but also in sport, in music, in all other aspects of our societies. So, go on, Adam.
I just wondered, what about you?
Oh, good question. I have a couple of leaders who, for me, are game-changing people or real inspirations. One of them is on this podcast, Adam. Sorry, Josh.
It's all right,
As
no.
much as I love working with Josh, I've worked with Adam for a very long time, and as a very new fledgling in the D&I world, working with Adam taught me so much about disability inclusion. So my big go-to leadership idol is Adam. And my second leadership idol is our CEO, Jane. Jane has trusted us to host this podcast, to bring our ideas to life. So I think I have two of my biggest leadership inspirations are Adam and Jane.
So clearly you're using this podcast to try to look for a pay rise, right?
Jane, if you're...
Can I just say that I was absolutely not on stage. And Meghan did not know I was going to
No. Yeah, and I guess maybe we should talk a little bit about why we're all here and the organisation that we all work for, who are supporting us to put together this podcast. So we work for an organisation called Even Break, and Even Break is run entirely by deaf, disabled and neurodivergent people. And our mission is to ensure that disabled talented disabled people are able to find jobs in inclusive and welcoming companies. And we do that through a number of different ways. We work directly with candidates. We have free open source resources on our career hive that is looked after by Josh, where candidates can find everything from how to write a CV, how to ace your interview, lots and lots of different skills to support you to find work. And we also work directly with employers. We provide inclusive recruitment training, we provide training on all numbers of different things, as well as consultancy, with the aim of really making sure that organisations are not only able to just recruit disabled talent, but are also able to create a space where they can thrive and really excel in their roles and be supported with no barriers. So I guess that leads me to an important question, which is, why are we doing this podcast? What do you think, Adam and Josh, are the reasons that this podcast is so important, or that we really wanted to host this podcast?
Yes.
Go for it.
I think, for me, there is still a huge disability employment gap. We know that. The data is there. I think it's fine. Panja, not 100%, I think, at the moment, which is far too big. But also, we also see some really good practice happening in organisations by people in the community who are really creating active change to improve inclusion. And I think if we can, one, hide the barriers and challenge some of the more controversial, it's not controversial issues, it's issues that maybe people find difficult to talk about. We can challenge those points and explore them in a safe way with our guests and unpick what sometimes feels like a challenging topic or barrier. Unpick it and actually see what we can do quite easily often to remove those barriers and get over any fear we have. I think having this kind of conversation will help spread the word. And also, we've got some phenomenal guests coming on, and I know they have done amazing work in their roles. So by sharing the practice we can really give our listeners the opportunity to take points away and actually create real change in their lives and in their lives. So I'm really excited for that.
Yes, Josh.
Yes, so just to touch on what like Adam was talking on, but like I think that the podcast will like allow us to have that platform where we can open up like a conversations, because I think that that certain topics on inclusion, people were kind of nervous to talk on, and hopefully the people that are listening that are able to create change will realize that there are certain parts of it that are quite easy to include now.
Oh, see what you did
Right.
there.
So like that's really what I want from the pod. Like then in terms of like a personal kind of thing too, because I've like only worked in inclusion for nearly 2 years now, because I'm looking forward to the opportunity to actually like listen and learn quite a lot from the people that come on. So
Yes,
yeah,
I love that. One of the reasons that we decided to call the podcast Include Now, after thousands really of different names, different variants, we ended on Include Now because we want it to really be a call to action for organisations, for individuals and employers to really start including people now. There's a wonderful phrase that we often talk about, which came from Adam's leadership inspiration. And we talk about how inclusion is actually not a journey. It very much is now. Because if we aren't including people right now, we are excluding people. So we really call on employers and individuals to take those small steps, just like Josh mentioned, to start including people right now. And with that in mind, to end this very short introductory episode, how can our audience get involved with the Include Now podcast? Adam?
I think one thing that you make, one of the pillars, I should say, of Invake is its community and the lived experience that the teaming and the candidates that we have bring. I think that doesn't change for Include Now. So comments, questions, having listened to the podcast and seen the podcast, get involved, share your thoughts, post questions, ideas, guests, topics you want to see on the podcast going forward, and that voice is so important.
Josh?
Yeah, like certainly, like I suppose, just your typical way of interacting with any podcast where we want to be able to ask the people that come on things from people that clearly passionate on. So so tell us what kind of topics you would like us to cover, like and also tell us what you like about the podcast, and also if there's anything that we can also improve on too. So yeah.
Super. Thanks, Josh. We really want this podcast to be by the community for the community. So please do share with us your questions, your thoughts, questions that Josh can ask our guests in Community Corner. We really, really want you all to be a part of this podcast as well. But all that remains to say is thank you so much for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode or you're excited for the rest of the episodes that we have coming, please do give this podcast a share with your networks. And if you'd like to learn more, give us a follow and also chat to us about our best practice portal, where you can find out much more about accessibility and inclusion and how to embed them in your workplace.